All right. Welcome in, everybody. It is Saturday morning, right at 10:35. So you already know what that means. Pay for play coming at you live for college football, week 9, best bets. As usual, we got our 6-pack of plays, plus we give you our full cards, any props that we're liking as well. And then on Thursday nights, JD goes live on our channel to give you the full DFS looks for the DraftKings slate for today. So you can probably squeeze it in if you try real hard at the end of this, but watch them on Thursday, watch them yesterday, next week going forward. Roddy will be joining us shortly, but we got the rest of the crew tapping in with us on week 9. I don't want to say the season's almost over, but we're almost there. 5 dogs have covered already, powered by Daily Bread Media. We're live on Twitter. Hit that link up on the title if you want to be featured with Rory and the rest of the subs out there to give your best bets. Let us know if Goose, are you rocking with the positive vibes only? If you're a hater, maybe we'll block you. No, we only block the bots. But supposedly they're coming back to Twitter. Sam, how you feeling?
I mean, it's bye week for me, so I just get a stress-free Saturday of football. I do have my longest card for the week or for the year.
Well, that's not a stress-free Saturday then.
I mean, but it's like having fun, throwing in some bets, I mean, but I don't have to worry about like an LSU Alabama type of attitude. So
next weekend.
Yeah, we're getting mentally prepared, rocking red and black today in unison with Roddy after he rocked purple and gold last week. So, we're on this ride together right now.
Damn, I guess I didn't get the memo because I got the red and black on as well. Goose, how are we feeling?
We're great. It's going to be a good Halloween weekend. We got college football today. It's a pretty good slate. We got some sneaky games up in here.
Sneaky games, and you got the other ones with big spreads. So hopefully the dogs continue to keep barking.
It's going to be spooky.
Ooh. Vibes are strong from Goose this morning. He let us know. JD, how are we feeling?
Feeling pretty good. I don't know how to follow up that one from Goose, but I'm feeling good. There's football on today, and we're live, so it's a great day.
Flock up.
All right, Goose, I don't know how many times you'll be making that sound when Rutgers. I was looking at that game. Spoiler alert, I do have a play on the Minnesota game versus Rutgers, so you have to stay for the end of the card because that's not 6 of the games were featured. If you follow us on Twitter, you already know what games we're going to be rolling through. Sammy finally got the first one ready.
Yeah, I got the first one. I guess Roddy's not going to be in here yet, so.
All right, Ohio State, Penn State. Man, big noon game. That's where the vibes are for this one in this aspect. 13 Penn State. The 60.5 is a high total here, but I think that's the way you got to be looking at it and going with the over just because I don't think Penn State's going to keep them under 35. They have the corners that are going to make it a little bit more difficult, but I still think at the end of the day, they're not going to keep it there. And I think Franklin's just going to go all out, balls to the wall here, try to reverse that narrative after he takes the first L, that they start coming in unison. And he usually covers against Ohio State. I believe he's always covered in his career against them as well. Don't have the cojones to take them at the 15.5 where it's sitting at. Don't have it to play the over. But those are my thoughts here. Goose, what do you like?
So apologies, they're doing lawn work right outside. I feel like he just got by my window. That's why I switched rooms. So I feel gross saying this, but I feel like you got to look at Penn State. How good is Ohio State? Just wondering. They beat Notre Dame week 1, but then the rest of the year they played cupcake teams. They played Rutgers, and Rutgers could be nice. They played Michigan State and Iowa and Toledo. I don't know. I'm looking at Penn State and I'm looking at the under. I'm not really buying Ohio State, I guess, because they had one true game this season and they won 21-10 in Notre Dame week 0 or week 1. This Penn State secondary, I feel like they can slow down the Ohio State passing attack. I feel when CJ Stroud has played Penn State, he's been slowed down a little because their secondary is usually pretty spot on. So the Penn State athletes somewhat compared to the Ohio State athletes. And when Ohio State has similar athletes that they're playing against, they usually lose. So I'm looking at Penn State plus 15, and I'm looking at the under.
Sam, what do we like here?
Yeah, I'm going to go against that narrative a little bit, and I think Ohio State's going to use this game to kind of flex the muscles a little bit. They've heard this. They haven't played anybody all season long narrative going on, and it's true. They really haven't. So, I mean, it's time to nut up and prove it. You're one of the top upper echelon teams that belongs to be second-ranked team in the country. And if not, I mean, it's not going to look good. I mean, Michigan looks great right now, and that it's all going to come down to that game at the end of the year, but this is Ohio State's first true test. Obviously, Notre Dame isn't what we thought they were at the beginning of the year. And I like Ohio State here. Don't like James Franklin in a big game. I know it's not an against the spread record, but 2-13 against top 10 teams. Hasn't beat Ohio State since 2016. I know Ohio State has some weapons out, but I still think they're going to be able to move the ball and score. I think the defense is really what's going to keep this at a 2-score margin for Ohio State. I like the defense. I like what Jim Knowles has done. I think it's much improved over what they had last year. So yeah, I'm rocking with Ohio State minus 15.
JD, let's hear it.
This is one where I'd like to look at Penn State because they're at home. Obviously, they had the big game against Michigan, and they got blown out. And I remember going into that one, we all kind of liked Penn State, and the matchups kind of told us they should be able to keep it close. And we're like, yeah, well, James Franklin is terrible in big games, and I just don't know if I want to keep giving James Franklin a but. They don't have the firepower whatsoever. So I could see this one being a little bit close for a while because, I mean, this Penn State team has some really good players and on all three levels, right? But, okay, your secondary is good. You're not going to contain C.J. Stroud and Ohio State. You're just not going to do it. Your rushing attack played one team that can run the ball, and you gave up 400 yards to Michigan. So I think Ohio State should be able to beat them wherever they want to. Of course, it's a home game in Happy Valley. And this one, again, could be close. But, yeah, I see Ohio State pulling away here.
JD, to play off that, I just looked up Travion Henderson over under 84.5 rushing yards. I mean, you just pulled up the 400 yards that Michigan put up on him. Any value there?
Yeah, there's definitely value. I mean, him and Meatball are going to split carries, right? But if this one goes how we think it's going to go, I mean, they're probably not throwing the ball 50 times, right? So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one thing to look for in this matchup because that's where you have people out there saying that this could be a better quote-unquote matchup for Penn State than Michigan is because since how run-focused Michigan is, that's where you can really gash Penn State. Be good to look at Ohio State's offense early to see how much they're going to rely on the run or how much they're going to test Penn State's top strength. Make sure to give us that like, retweet, follow, sub. We got 5 games left on their card if you're just tapping in so you haven't missed much. And then we give out all of our best bets, all of our looks for the day. We got a play coming up here where I'm laying the fishy juice. We had Chuck tweeting at us last week to respect Spencer Sanders. I am not. Give me K-State at home, money line, minus 120. It's sitting at minus 125 now. Doesn't matter to me. Play either of them. You can lay the -1 or -1.5. I just rather, for once in my life, pay the extra 20 cents or 10 cents juice. Just get that money line here. And I think K-State's running offense is just going to be the time of possession here. We'll dominate it. I'm not relying on Oklahoma State's defense. This is a spot where they're kind of the one that's playing with that has the pressure on them when it's usually vice versa. I like K-State at home being a little bit disrespected by the spread. Give me the Cats on the money line. JD, what do you like here?
I like Kansas State. I feel like I like Kansas State every week. I just think they're kind of undervalued. They're playing at home. Oklahoma State. I mean, I like this team, so I don't want to call them, lucky or whatever. But it takes one very quick look at what they've done this season. One very quick look at their
Still like
resume.
them if Martinez doesn't play.
Yeah, that's the thing. I bet on Kansas State last week, and I thought it was the right play, and then they're on their third string quarterback all of a sudden because that's cool. And nobody seems to know. Even the beat writers, I was trying to stay really tuned. They don't seem to know what happened to Martinez, or at least they're not telling anybody. So even without Martinez, that makes this one a little bit dicey. Will Howard, I am not a fan of Will Howard, but he is an experienced backup. It seems like 3 now. He keeps being forced into play. I think that means a lot. I think that means a lot at home. Oklahoma State's defense is bad enough that Kansas State, I think, should be able to control this one. And Oklahoma State, again, they're not giving away injury information either, but 2 of their starting wide receivers were out last week, could be out this week as well. In Kansas State defense, they know like the Big 12's back, right?
No.
Oh, shit. College football hates them so much that he said the Big 12's back that they stopped them real quick. They are going to be the top basketball conference this season, but JD, continue.
Oh, I was done. I think I froze. I like Kansas State.
Yeah, I was about to say, if Martinez doesn't play, I think this is where Kansas State's just going to be running the ball the whole time. Sure, they'll get in some tough third downs where he'll be forced to make some plays. Just give me the home team that's going to dominate the time of possession. Sam, you rocking the Cats as well?
Yes, I am. And I think it goes back to kind of what we were talking about last week with Oklahoma State. Yeah, they pulled away. Texas kind of shit down their leg there at the end of the game, obviously, and blew that. But Bijan Robinson was able to go off. The Texas rushing attack was able to go off. I like Kansas State, especially if Martinez plays. I mean, I've read everything I've read is he's a true game time decision. So I think Deuce Vaughn is going to get a lot of work. Like you said, Rex, they're going to control the clock. And I just don't think this Oklahoma State defense is going to be able to stop the rushing attack. And K-State's going to pull it out at home.
Goose, are you going to be contrarian or are we mushing them?
Go Pokes.
Yes.
Go Pokes. Man, I feel like every week I disrespect Spencer Sanders, but I'm kind of buying them this week. Look, both quarterbacks for K-State are coming in a little banged up. I don't know who's going to play. I think this Oklahoma State offense is going to make Kansas State get out of their element. Oklahoma State does have 7 turnovers. They forced 7 turnovers in their last 4 games. They're finding the rock. So, I mean, I know they give up a lot of yards, but it looks like they're finding the rock. So I think if Oklahoma State can get a few early touchdowns, that's going to get Kansas State out of their element. Adrian Martinez only threw, I know this is a run emphasis team, but he's only thrown 4 touchdowns this year. I just think with an offense like Oklahoma State, that's not going to cut it. I don't care. I mean, their running game's amazing. Deuce Vaughn, their running game's amazing, but I just don't think they have the quarterback play to play with this offense.
All right, game 3 on the slate today. We like to go in the chronological order. It's a lot of time for the night slate, and
we're not going in chronological order because we're hoping Roddy comes back for.
It's all good.
For the Georgia game.
One time I say it, we don't do it, but it is what it is. This is what we do at Daily Bread Media, always on the fly. I guess you can't really call this the letdown spot because Tennessee made sure to cover against UT Martin. Heupel knew it was up last week. Once they got the 1 score on the board, what do you do instantly? Go right back down. Now you got the beat-up Kentucky side coming in here, and sure, rivalry spot. Beginning of the season, JD, the look-ahead line for this was not 11.5, correct? I'm pretty sure it's way, way lower.
I'm assuming it was around 3.
I don't know if you remember off the top of your head.
I don't. It was probably around 3.
So this is what you see with the health. This is what you see what Tennessee has done so far this season. Sam, another pair of Cats. Are they getting disrespected as well by this line?
No, I don't. I mean, Tennessee's just a much better team. Like, I don't think Kentucky has the firepower at all to move with this or just score with Tennessee. And I mean, if it was at Kentucky, I'd be leaning a little bit differently in the look ahead spot to a massive game next week at Georgia. But I think they get in, get out. I've got 11.5. I just think Tennessee's too good for Kentucky this year.
And that's it. I was expecting a lot of hype from the SEC guy here for this game. Nothing.
It's
You're
bye
right
week,
in the
man.
area. Nothing.
It's
no
bye week.
face of the fan bases. Wow. Sad.
No, I don't fucks with Kentucky fans up here, so.
JD, you gotta give me a little bit more than that.
Okay. I'm more of a long-term guy, right? Like I like identifying coaching staffs that I like and trends, and I just kind of try to stick with that. And Mark Stoops in Kentucky is one thing I like on the road in conference games. He's been a great bet. So I was actually considering Kentucky, and then like none of us here have been high on Kentucky all year. I don't think any of us think they're very good. They don't have a lot of firepower. They mainly run the ball, okay, and they're going against a Tennessee team that is good at stopping the run and not much else defensively, right? So that's a problem. And if Tennessee's playing at home, if they get a lead, how is Kentucky really going to come back, except for some big plays? But overall, it's Halloween weekend. You're getting 11.5 with a team that just somehow manages to play games close, even when it seems like they're outgunned year after year. So yeah, I guess I would actually lean Kentucky.
Give me the 11.5. You can play it a half unit. I always put one on it. To what JD said, this makes 0.0 sense. The only way Kentucky could potentially get back in this game is to force turnovers and end up with extremely good field position. Because if you're even going to force the turnovers when they're after a long drive by them, not much this Kentucky offense is going to do. There's just something telling me that this game just stays way too close. Maybe you potentially had a hedge out late if you don't want to stay it, but give me the double digits. 11.5 is a dead number. You can wait to 13 or 14 live right after the first score, but that's not what we do here on Paid for Play. We bet pregame so that you can lock in with us. Give me the 11.5. Goose, you're the one who's saying it's spooky season. I know you're laying the points with the Vols here.
After last game, when I backed Oklahoma State because their offense, you'd think I'm on Tennessee, but I'm not. I like Kentucky tonight. Or is it tonight? No, it's tonight. I like Kentucky tonight. Will Levis as an underdog, 5-0 versus a ranked team. And look, a lot of people are trying to hype this dude up as a top 10 overall pick. I'm not saying he's like that, but the dude can play, especially on the college level. I'm not calling him, but his teammate is him. Chris Rodriguez is back. That just, I feel like, is going to help their offense a lot. He's been back for a couple weeks. He missed the first, I don't know, maybe like 3 or 4 weeks. It's spooky season. Did anyone just see Sam's door?
No, that's his dog.
Yeah,
that means it's hungry.
my dog.
That's spooky season.
The dog. Yep.
What?
Yeah.
Man, but nah, so I'm on Kentucky. I just think they play dogs, or when they're an underdog, they play teams close. They're probably not going to win. Tennessee is amazing this year. Hendon Hooker looking like the Heisman front runner. I just think with Will Levis and Chris Rodriguez, their offense has enough and their defense is solid. And I just think 5-0 as a underdog against a ranked team. So let's make it 6-0. Let's go with the trends.
Yep, this is definitely my least confident bet of the day. This is one where at this number, I just think Tennessee has a rough time for the first time in the season. It's really what I'm banking on here to keep this number within
It's
the 11
unis,
and a
man.
half.
The unis are going to pull them out.
Dude, the unis? I don't know.
Are they wearing
they're
the black
tough,
uniforms?
but
I saw they showed them off, but are they wearing them?
They usually do it every Halloween weekend.
They're doing the
they're at
unis, but the only thing I don't like is the oranges don't match. They got a burnt orange and then like the puke orange that Tennessee rocks on the jerseys. So it fucks
Roddy,
with
you
my
want
sense.
money
to
line then.
jump in real quick so we can get the Florida versus Georgia, and then Roddy's on the road. He's like me for once, so I could get to give him shit. But Give us your card at the end of it. Give us your thoughts here. Maybe we'll give you some shit. Usually, this ain't sitting at 23, but now that you're big boys, I got the Atlanta shirt on. Sam's got his black and red on.
Come on,
How
baby.
is
Come on,
Richardson going
baby.
to ruin your day?
He's not about to ruin my day, brother. Trust me. I'm gonna be drinking alcohol later on today. Nah, for real. I would say the main thing that, and I just want to touch on the Kentucky-Tennessee real quick. Tennessee better be careful because, like you said, Rex, they have not started slow at all for the past 2 years. So it's a rivalry game, biggest game of, obviously Heupel's career is going to be next week. So we'll see what happens. But you know what I'm here to talk about, baby. Okay, I'm at this gate. I don't know where the hell I am right now, but hate doesn't run through my heart very often, but it runs through my heart very often for the Florida Gators. I hate that football team. I hate that school. They're disgraces. We've been asking, begging, pleading them to play a home and home with us. Please play a home and home with us. They don't want to do it. They want to keep the game an hour and a half away from their campus. That's fine. Y'all have the advantage, whatever. Stadiums half and half, whatever. I don't care. But I really think that the number one thing that, Florida hasn't seen this year is a run game that Georgia has. And I think if you want to take any of the running backs to score a touchdown, any of them, and they're at good odds, take it. Because, again, I don't think it's going to be a whole bunch of Stetson today. I think they're going to try to get the ball, squat on it, run the ball, be conservative, not do too much, not show, too much, and get ready for next week. So I'm taking the 22, man. I'm taking the 22 and a half, or the 23 now. It's at -110, and I hope that the entire team runs on the field at their first touchdown again. I pray that happens again. It's not, but you get it.
Yeah, you hit it right just because the only thing potentially here that makes you any bit concerned is if you rock the tinfoil hat or if you look at the look ahead spot just because they got Tennessee coming in on deck. And then you alluded to it. They haven't seen running backs like Georgia. Florida hasn't seen, I don't think, any position unit like Georgia so far this season.
No, not at all. I don't
We've
think.
seen a better quarterback,
especially
yeah, but that really doesn't matter when you got the rest of the pieces around here and the way that he maneuvers that offense. But Roddy, you want to give us your full card, and then he's gone.
Oh, now I'm here.
He's back. And he's gone again. And he's back.
Spooky.
Sam, what do you like here?
I'm on Georgia big. I think Kirby likes beating the shit out of Florida. I am with Roddy and my hate for Florida. I hate that school. I hate that program. I think Anthony Richardson's going to struggle with this defense. I understand, he's a roller coaster ride, up and down. Every week, you never know which version of Anthony Richardson we're going to get. But I don't know, man. Georgia's too good. Florida's down bad this year. They're throwing birthday parties for recruits that aren't even coming to their school, and now they're down bad. It's a year one for Billy, but momentum is low for them, and I think Georgia's going to put the nail in the coffin on their season.
Yeah, the first half, 13.5, does seem a little short. But Roddy, since we got you back, give us the rest of your thoughts and your full card so we can let you go enjoy the game.
Yes. So I told Goose it's homecoming, baby. Okay. I know ODU has been looking a little strong, but give me the 3.5 today. If you see somebody running on the field, it's me. I'm very drunk. Okay. Someone call my mama. All right. So give me Georgia State 3.5.
Call God.
Give me the dog. Oh, RIP Coach Dooley, by the way. That, I'm so glad he got to see last year before he passed, because the man been waiting fucking 40 years for it. So shout out to him. Dogs by 300, but I'm taking them by 23 today. And I have the whiteout working this time. Okay. Penn State 15.5. Is it still 15? or 15 and a
Isn't
half?
it a stripe out and not a white out?
A stripe out.
Yeah, Penn State always loses to Ohio State, so Penn State made their Minnesota game the whiteout.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's
okay.
going to be one section is going to be white, the next section is going to be blue, and then it's going to do that around the stadium because the whiteout also doesn't hit the same at noon on a
Yeah, that's
gloomy,
true.
muggy day in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, man, Pennsylvania, the scenery is amazing, trust me. But yeah, I still got them 15 and a half. I think Ohio State is kind of like Tennessee. Y'all been not really tested for real, and of course you're on the road in a tough environment. I feel like, it's going to be rough. But that's all I got today. I only got 3 plays. I'm going with the 2 Georgia teams, and I'm going with Penn State to cover, and that's it. Me and Sam will be back to be active participants in our haters' downfall next week. So please be sure to tune into that. But appreciate y'all, fellas. I will see y'all next week. Again, if you see anyone running on the field during the Georgia State Old Dominion game, it is me. Please call my mother immediately. Okay?
Will do. We appreciate you making the time for us, Car Roddy. We'll catch you next week. All right. Who else didn't give their thoughts? JD, you got anything here?
Not much to add. Nobody here really seems like they believe in Florida. I don't either. Somebody asked in the chat, Brock Bowers, is he going to have a game today? I think he is. I took his over 12.5 on Prize Picks. It's just kind of a disrespectful line. The books are wise to what Roddy was talking about. They actually don't have any players listed with rushing yards or rushing touchdowns on DraftKings Sportsbook other than Anthony Richardson. Okay. So they're not listing the Georgia guys because I wanted to play like Brock Bowers rushing TD at plus money because he's going to do that thing where he just starts running and you're like, what the hell is going on here? And he's just a specimen. So I'm looking for Brock Bowers. That's it.
I was about
Books
to
are
say,
scared.
they're just
They're
like,
cowards.
please give us any money if you think Richardson's going to somehow get past Jalen Carter in the middle. We'll love to take your money there. Goose, do you give your thoughts yet?
No, so as you guys know, I'm a Jacksonville Jaguars fan. So I went down to Jacksonville last year and I tried Gator Bites for the first time. And Gator Bites are good, bro. They're better than chicken nuggets. If you guys ever get down south, have some Gator Bites. So you might be thinking I'm gonna fry up the Gators today. But no, it's spooky season, and I like Gator Bites, so Gators are going to pull through. I would take Florida Gators plus 9.5. It's going to be a single-digit game. Anthony Richardson, this is his moment.
Lunch.
I really got nothing on this game. I just wanted to say I like Gator Bites because I'm kind of hungry.
I was about to say, Sam, if you're lunch betting that, you have to get Goose like fucking a steak, and then you're getting like the Happy Meal for McDonald's on the 9.5 there.
I'll go 16.5. I'll give him an extra touchdown.
No, that's where if you ever do a bet, like I did it with you and I did it with Goose, you do it at the true spread. You take the hook if it's in or not in your favorite. We got 2 games left on our docket, right? Before our full cards.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
What we got next? Make sure to like, retweet, follow, sub. Another huge spread here. Michigan State got the dub last year, too. God, I don't know, man. These 2 games being back-to-back isn't the best for the mojo here just because I can't lay 3 touchdowns here. But the team total for Michigan is the only thing that's potentially speaking to me here. Goose, we'll let you start it off.
Michigan State.
Now he's too scared for spooky season.
Yeah, I mean, no, Michigan State's really bad this year, and I'm never that impressed with with Michigan. It's a weird game for me. Michigan just plays bully ball, and I guess they're gonna bully Michigan State because Michigan State's not the biggest team. They don't have the running game working. Michigan. It's an ugly one.
JD, you can't speak some hype for the Spartans?
Hell no. No.
Sam, it looks like he froze. What do you like here?
I'm on Michigan. I'm trying to find the stat. Michigan State, one of the worst rushing defenses in the country. I think Michigan's going to pound it down their throat. Look, I know Michigan State's owned the series recently. I think it's 10 of the last 14, and they've won back-to-back now after last year. Huge win for Mel Tucker last year, but, I mean, the team is just not there this year. I like Michigan big. I think it's time to get some vengeance on – I mean, I guess you can still call him little brother, but yeah, I think Michigan tries to reestablish some dominance in this game and kind of does what they did to Penn State, just running down their throat. I got 2 plays in this one. I got Michigan minus 22, and I got Blake Corum over 115.5 rushing yards in this game.
Goose, you're not afraid for Michigan's look-ahead spot for next week?
Who do they have? I'm gonna guess. Who do they have? They beat Penn State already, and they don't have Ohio State next week. So is there really?
He knows exactly who it is.
Oh, it's Rutgers! No, I forgot. Oh man.
Hey, that's
the Big Ten's not that good, so like there's no more look ahead spot. But I mean, it's a night game. You never know what's gonna happen. Pandemonium and Piscataway.
Hey, that's a team that can stop the rush too.
Exactly. Rutgers lost 20-13 last year at Michigan. 2 years ago, Rutgers lost in overtime to Michigan. We play Michigan well.
I just had to throw that in there. What's the last game on our slate before we give you
A better game.
of our
This is a
best
better
bets so that you can be enjoying your day, gambling or riding with us, fading us, whatever the hell you want to do. Make sure you're hopped into the chat if you're watching us on Twitter to drop your best bets. Maybe StreamYard and Twitter will figure shit out where we can finally feature your comments again. That was a lot of fun last year, but now you got to be over at YouTube. So we're sorry about that, but hop over there. Finally, a low spread game. I don't even think we need Sam to talk about this one here because I think Sam has this 10-unit whale max of the season coming out here because he doesn't usually do the whale, but I think we might be making an appearance here just for his. If you've been watching us all season, you already know. But JD, Jimbo, do you think the guys are smoking weed in the locker room before the game? It's not a good sign. After the game, all right, I don't even know. But I don't even know where I was going to go with that one. But weed in the locker room before a game, not a good look. What are you thinking here?
I think you probably got to be high as hell to be trying to bet Texas A&M at this current state and time. Okay, so before and after you place that bet, maybe. That being said, Ole Miss does not look very good. It seems kind of clear they were a paper tiger. So I'm not going to confidently recommend the Ole Miss side, but hell no on Texas A&M. They got problems, right? They're just missing players left and right. The betting market was high on them going into the year when they're playing a whole bunch of true freshmen, and now those true freshmen are smoking weed and quite simply not playing very well. That being said, Ole Miss's defense, after starting the year hot, has been dreadful, right? Just dreadful. They've been getting torched. Auburn came to life against them, right? I think it was LSU that went absolutely nuts against them as well.
We've seen 2 seasons ago, Ole Miss defense back at you live.
I think so. Devin A-Chain, only way I would look at this one, A&M, like they have no skill players anymore. Okay, Naismith's out for the year. The other guys are smoking weed. The other guys aren't good. But I know their offensive line is hurt, so that makes me a little questionable. But like he's the only thing they have. So any of his props, he's at 97.5 rushing, 28.5 receiving with plus money on that. He's even plus 400 to get a receiving touchdown. Like they don't have receivers, and that guy's a good receiver, and he's a track star going against a bad defense. So that's the way I would look here.
We're not against weed here on paid for play. Just the balls to light it up in the locker room, something else where it's just not committed to each other. Sam, what do you like here?
I think everyone knows where I'm going with this. I mean, I'm laying the 1.5 or 2.5 with Ole Miss. I think A&M doesn't score more than 24 points, and I think Ole Miss is easily going to be able to score 24 points in this game. Texas A&M's run defense has been bad all year. That's what Ole Miss does very well. I'm not sure if what's his name? Zach, no, not Zach Moss. the other running back that got hurt last week in the LSU game. I think he comes back. I think Judkins goes off. I think the whole offense is going to be looking a little bit better this week. Like JD said, 3 of the 5 starters on an already bad offensive line are out for this week. And you just hate to see the downfall of this Texas A&M program. I, for one, am very upset about it. You got players smoking weed in the locker room, like everyone's mentioned. There's rumors of players fist fighting Jimbo in the locker room after the game because they were smiling and laughing after the loss last week. So after definitely buying that entire recruiting class, it seems like for some reason the chemistry and the buy-in is just not there. It seems like all these kids just wanted to get paid millions of dollars to go to Texas A&M, and that's what's happened. All the lies in the offseason about how there was nothing to do with money with that recruiting class is just like a blatant lies. So, yeah, give me Ole Miss in this game. I know they're, like JD said, paper tiger, probably not very good overall, not as high of a contender as maybe we thought of them going into last week, but still, I think Texas A&M is just a dead dog. I understand it's at Kyle Field, but yeah, give me Ole Miss in this one.
Sam, is it safe to say the coaching edge in this one means more than the home field advantage?
Yeah, I'd say so. And to be honest, I think Lane Kiffin's vying for every potential SEC job that is rumored to be coming open soon. He's trying
Nebraska.
That ain't happening. I think he wants to be anywhere but Ole Miss in the SEC. So yeah, give me Ole Miss. I think he's going to try to pour it on.
Yeah, the only way I see Texas A&M hanging in this game is if it goes under, because I don't see how, if Ole Miss has their usual offensive output, which isn't up to their standards, even though their defense is looking pretty rough. I just don't know how Texas A&M is going to be able to move the ball with this dinosaur offense that they continue to run. Works against Bama, though, every single year. Against everyone else, just doesn't work.
It makes no sense. It drives me insane.
So I'm going to target Ole Miss's just team total over 27.5. I think I feel like this game, I mean, let's just think. Texas A&M arguably just hit rock bottom. I would consider it rock bottom for the season with the PR drama that's coming out of their locker room. They're fighting with each other. Their offense might hit a spark. I don't know. I feel like sometimes when you hit rock bottom, you finally. So that's why I'm only taking Ole Miss's team total. I think they'll be able to get 4 touchdowns on this Ole Miss team because, I mean, it's Halloween. They just hit rock bottom. You never know. So I'm not on like a game side. Just Ole Miss. I think they'll score.
All right, time for our best bets. JD, any props or anything you want to hype up before we get into our cards?
Not a whole lot. So I played a bunch earlier in the week, and they all got steamed like crazy. So there's nothing strong. Basically, anything on USC I'm looking at. Like Arizona's defense is so bad. They just don't have Power 5 guys. It is so bad. And USC coming off a bye. I know Jordan Addison probably won't play. Might play. They said he's questionable. I don't think he's playing. I don't think it matters. Like Caleb Williams props, I'm all over him on Prize Picks up to any number. Same thing with Dye. I even considered 44.5 as a team total. Like I think they're just gonna go absolutely nuts against Arizona. Like that's the biggest mismatch I see on the board is that offense versus that defense.
Perfect. Love to hear that. Roddy already gave you his 3 plays right in the middle. He was backing both of the Georgia teams. I forget what his 3rd play was. Sam, do you remember?
Penn State.
Yeah, that's why I forgot that one. But those are his 3. If you like Penn State, congrats, you're rocking it with Roddy. But Goose, you got the positive vibes. It's only right that we start with you. Let's hear your full card for today.
All right, bear with me. It's 1 second. We're going all out right now. We're going all out. Bear with me. Let's get it. Let's get it.
So is he playing? He's saying he's playing Cal against Oregon with this.
Goose the GOAT. Bam. All right, so can you guys hear me?
Not that
Yeah.
great.
Unfortunately, yes,
yeah.
we can hear you.
All right, I'm on Penn State. Give me them plus 15.5. Ohio State's not that team. They're not that good. Give me Old Dominion. I don't care if it's homecoming for Georgia State. This Old Dominion team can play. They're very inconsistent. They can slow down the run. Goose the GOAT. Give me Oklahoma State. I know you guys were like in Kansas State, but Oklahoma State, I think their offense is too real. And lastly, my favorite play today, give me Cincinnati money line. They're playing UCF. I don't think UCF, I can't stand their quarterback. I don't think he's that good. It's a run-based team. I think this Cincinnati team is too real for UCF. Bah!
I don't know how you follow that up.
Well, Sam, you only followed up with the CVS receipt. So
Barely
let's hear
breathing
it.
there.
All right. Like I said before, biggest card of the year. I'll recap the ones we've already got. Ohio State minus 15, K-State minus 1.5, Georgia minus 22, Tennessee minus 1. Now, this is a lot of chalk. Tennessee minus 11.5, Michigan minus 22, Blake Corum over 115.5 rushing yards, and then Ole Miss minus 2.5. For plays we haven't talked about, TCU West Virginia over 69. TCU continues to score points. West Virginia's defense is awful. I think they'll be able to put up some points as well. But yeah, give me the over 69 in that game. Then we're going to go Quentin Johnson over 91 receiving yards. JD's been playing his props all year. He's the best receiver on TCU's team. He's going to be able to put up numbers today. I think they're going to be able to throw the ball over the field. Not playing aside in that one, but we're going to fade Notre Dame. Syracuse minus 2 at home. I know they're coming off a tough loss last week. But yeah, I like TCU or Syracuse in this spot. Notre Dame's just not a very good team this year, so we're going to play against them. I like Wake Forest, Louisville over 62.5. Got that earlier this week. It's been rising up. I think it was at 65 before the show started. And we're also going to play Wake minus 3. They're a really good team, and I don't know why the number's so low today. But yeah, I think they'll be able to outscore Louisville in a shootout. Then SMU Tulsa over 64. Both offenses are going to be able to score points. Not a game I would normally play, but I mean, it's bye week, so we can just focus on some extra games. Got all the screens going. And then to close it out, we're riding the Bo Nix roller coaster again. Road Bo Nix, Cal plus 17.
JD, what do you got for us?
All right, so I got 5 plays here. I'm going to be against you, Goose. I'm going to UCF. Okay, they looked bad last week. I think that ECU team is just pretty good. They played Bounce House at home. Cincinnati, they only have 1 cover this year. They lost a lot. That's a good program. I don't like betting against programs I believe in. I believe in Luke Fickell, but I think at home, I think this is a good spot for UCF to grab a win. So I'm going to go there. Going against the GOAT never feels good to go against the GOAT, right? Other than that, I'm with Sam. I like the Louisville Wake Forest over. Okay, I think both teams should. Like, Louisville doesn't really have a pass defense. They're playing Wake. That's a problem. Okay, and on the other side, Wake's defense hasn't really played anybody except Clemson. And we saw what happened when you play a dual threat quarterback and you let DJU throw for 5 touchdowns. Yeah, Cunningham's pretty good too. Stanford UCLA. I'm gonna play under 65 in that one. That's like the same as the Oregon UCLA game last week. It's like very similar. It's been moving on the way down, but Oregon, Stanford, 2 different offenses, I would say. Yeah, so give me the under. Arkansas minus 3.5. Arkansas, they're getting healthy. The defense has been terrible. They're finally getting more healthy. Sam Pittman basically said, if you can walk, you're playing this week. Okay, so they're going to get a number of guys back. Still not an excellent defense, but you're playing Auburn, okay, and you're going to run the ball. They've given up 740 rushing yards or something. Now you're playing a Sam Pittman top 10 rushing offense. You're going to get smoked. I'm looking for Arkansas to lay the wood in that game. Last one, we're chopping. We are chopping. We're taking Rutgers plus 14. You're playing Minnesota. Minnesota was the biggest paper tiger of all time to start the year. They've been bad. Okay, they've been bad. This is going to be a very low-scoring game. Rutgers has a very good rushing defense going against the Minnesota team that's without its top wide receiver, without its quarterback, and even then, all they do is run the ball against Rutgers. They got a smart defensive coaching staff. That one's going to be close. I like Rutgers plus 14.
Smart man.
Debatable.
Has no one had a play in Syracuse versus Notre Dame?
Sean Tucker. They gave him 5 carries last week. So I would say a Robert and I running back over is not something I generally target. And I think most of his work comes in receiving. So that's not personally something I would look at.
All right. Whew. Got a gross card, just like yesterday's feeling. Or just like last week's feeling. I went 4-2. A lot of dogs covered last week. 5 dogs covered to start this week. We're starting with Kansas State on the money line at minus 120. And we got the Kentucky plus 11.5, minus 110. Those are the 2 shows from the play. JD, you alluded to it. I'm taking the full bait and laying the 3 with Wake Forest at minus 110, which is available right now. I'm just going to believe in Hartman. And Louisville, Satterfield just keeps, I guess, barely saving his job. I don't know. I just think I'm going to keep fading teams I don't believe in. That's one of them. Second one is Tulsa on the money line at minus 105. Sam, you're playing the total. SMU, it could move a little bit if the SMU quarterbacks ruled in. So that's where it could get a little bit more. But I've been fading SMU this season, going to continue that trend as well. Another trend that we've loved this season, UNC's overs. I'm doubling down on the first half and the full game over. So the first half is over 32.5, full game 65.5, both at minus 110. Don't have the balls. I was talking about it on Daily Bread earlier this week. West Virginia plus 7.5 has been speaking to me all week, but too many other people, I guess it's been speaking to at the same time. I'm not going against TCU. Sorry. Can't make that one official. I think the Mountaineers definitely make it close and gross, but can't do it. Potentially the grossest play of the season, Northwestern team total under 13, minus 115. Going into Iowa, their first half is 6.5. That's at minus 125 if you want to take that under. I don't think Northwestern's getting 2 touchdowns on the board today. And if they do, so be it. I wanted to lay the points with Iowa, and I was like, fuck no, that's a dumb idea if you're laying double digits with Iowa. So what's the other way you can back them? Fade the other team's team total. And then the hungry dog, don't like. It was at 6.5 this morning. The current line's sitting at 4.5. So I'll give you the money line that it's sitting at now, plus 175. Ypsilanti's going to be rocking. Eastern Michigan's taking down Toledo at home tonight.
Toledo's quarterback's out too, Rex, and there's weather. It's foggy.
Foggy.
Well, that's where it was at 6.5 this morning. I don't think everyone realized that. So that's where the money line was sitting more at like a plus 205 range. Now it's plus 165 to 175. Still play the money line. The spread's at 4.5. That's what you get. I played the lines when we go on the show. Don't try to give out. My CLV from Friday was negative 5.5. That's all right. We love everyone on gambling Twitter, even the losers like them. But anything else? Goose, what you got to say?
I got one more play that I'm going to add to the card. Can you guys see this? This is how Texas A&M does Halloween. We talked about Ole Miss. I'm adding them to the card. Ole Miss money line. This is kind of weird.
Dude, these guys, you got to put a stop to what's going on in College Station. Get the camera. Like, they should have never let cameras into this place because it's done nothing but embarrass them week after week. I don't know how what about this school do athletes see like, oh, hey, I want to come to this school. It's exactly the money. Like,
there's money inside those pumpkins. Yeah, they
I
smash
understand,
them.
but
yeah,
that was like I was getting Charlottesville vibes from that shit this morning. Whenever I saw that, that was a bad look. I mean, everything A&M puts out right now is a bad look. So I'm with you there, Goose.
Yep. The one last play that stayed off my card today, saw a lot of mushes on it, so I couldn't do it. I liked Mizzou. We were on South Carolina last week as a hungry dog. I think they get upset this week, but way too many mushes were on Mizzou. So we'll keep that off it. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 plays today. Biggest card I've had on the season. Sam's got a big one as well. Next week, same time, same place.
Be here next
Appreciate
week.
everyone tap in.
I'm just telling you right now. Be here next week. It's going to be the biggest show we've had all year. We got Tennessee, Georgia. We got LSU, Alabama. Roddy and I are going to be lit. Like, we're going to be off the wall next week. So
trappy game, that Arkansas game, very trappy, staying away.
Yeah, JD was on it, but yeah, tune in next week. It's going to be a great show.